Hey, where's Waldo? Hey, Sam. How you doing? Yeah, no place to go, that's why. Hey, Pam, how you doing? Thought I'd come on for a few minutes. Not a bad day out today. Good, pretty nice. Yeah, not bad, Bug Paul. Sorry about that. Where's Waldo? Yeah, it's definitely slow up here, that's for sure. Yeah, well, what are you gonna do, you know? Hey, Jesus Freak, how you doing? All things considered, okay. Did you watch the videos at all? Jesus Freak, did you watch the videos? Hey, Kathy, how you doing? Well, then you should know how she's doing. Oh, okay, Kath, that's cool. Yeah, I feel bad for a lot of these restaurants, these waitresses and stuff, because even if they're going to get unemployment, I mean, when you're making $3.80 an hour, whatever they pay them, they're screwed. It's too bad. Hey, Rock Girl, how you doing? Yeah, there's a gas station downtown that's usually just jamming, man. They're super slow. You can still go in there, so it just goes to show you, people, I guess, are just staying inside. Isn't that the truth? I was just talking to the girl at the drive-through coffee place, and she was going to go to Florida Friday with her girlfriends for spring break, and the hotel closed down. Hey, Andy, how you doing? Oh, okay, Andy. Yeah, it's crazy, is right. Yeah, it sure is. Definitely a huge inconvenience for people. I went to Walmart last night, though, and it wasn't bad at all. Yeah, I got on when I got up this morning. I looked at the flights. There were still quite a few coming into Detroit, and I wondered how full they are. What do you think about that? That's what I think about it. Unless you've got a brain damage, you'd figure it out on your own. Hope that answered your question. Let that sink in. Hey, Rock Girl. Maybe you can think about it now and it'll sink in. Yeah, so I don't know what the heck's going to happen. It really isn't affecting me too much, but I certainly feel bad for the other people, you know? Get some bookkeeping done today. Kathy, you think that'll help them figure it out? Get this receipt in my pocket. I can't figure what it's for. Oh, no kidding, Andy. Wow. You know, people have been telling me the specials they've had. Yeah, I agree, Kathy. That's going to happen though when you get a YouTube channel. They get jealous, you know. Almost all of the problems I've had were from people that wanted to collaborate, or they were prior moderators that I booted off for being gossip mongers. One or the other, you know. That's the way it goes. I've learned to accept it. So, hey, Kate, how you doing? What's new with you? How's things going with you? Hey, One Life, how you doing? Oh, thank you, Julie. Appreciate it. Thank you. Hey, Patricia, how's it going? I see that PO box I got ran out that I had for Becky. But no, after a while, I mean, nobody was really sending anything, and as it turned out, I couldn't, you know, trust them with the keys. So, what are you gonna do? Hey, Julie, how you doing? Hey, Greg, Shannon. That's the way it goes. Yeah, that's not happening. I mean, the people, even if you got like a below average IQ, you can figure this out. You don't even need to be an average IQ to figure out that these people are just strange and weird. Oh, that's cool, Kate. That'd be nice. So you started a channel? You start yourself a channel? Oh, not much, Greg. Just doing a little paperwork today. Daisy's great. Oh, good. What, are you having somebody else do it, Kate? Hey, Ronnie. Doing fine. That's cool. No, not really. I've been out a lot. I just uploaded a ton of videos. Yeah, you're pretty much right on that, Ronnie. You're right. Yeah, they're crazy. It really shows in their channel, though. It's not like anybody's believing this and they're having, you know, channels with any content. They don't have any content. When they're not making enough false videos, they're calling people's neighbors and stuff. Just crazy. Yeah, it's crazy up here too, Greg. Yeah, they use my content, that's for sure. That's one knock I have against YouTube. I don't think they police it as good as they should. I mean, you wouldn't believe the hoops you got to jump through to get your own content taken off somebody else's channel. Nuts. Yeah, it really is. It is better than it was, though. They revamped their rules like in late September. So, I mean, it's moving in the right direction. Believe me, you can't just keep doing stuff like that and not pay a consequence down the road. So I think their time is coming. For sure. Hey, Pam. Thank you. How are things going up there in Toronto? About the same thing? Yeah, that's because they put Chosen One in the title, Kate. But you can blame on YouTube. Yeah, definitely like to have a crystal ball to see where this is all going to end, you know? I know a couple of women that are still working that just can't afford babysitters. You know, if it wasn't like everybody's so worried nowadays that, you know, everybody's a pervert or something, I would have offered to watch their kids for them while they were at work just to help them out. Shit, nowadays, you don't even want to ask. Yeah, I think so, Andy. I think you're right. Yeah, I look over my life, the kids I watch for people along the way in college and different other times. And I take the kids doing all sorts of stuff, taking to the mall, buying stuff. I can remember when I was in college, a lady leaving me her two like 6-year-old daughters, 5 and 6. I took them out to eat and stuff. Didn't think a thing of it, man. Boy, not anymore. If I didn't know somebody really well, I wouldn't want to watch her kids. Yeah, they're all over, Pam. Just weird people. I don't pay any attention to them. They send me emails, I delete them. You know? What's this Cam Lean? Here's another weirdo that just shows up with some stupid face. What do you want, you moron? It's surprising the places that this virus has shown up. Oh, maybe this Cam's all right. I don't recognize the name, though, to tell you the truth. I mean, you get so on edge. Yeah, I know, Pam. Yeah, you're right. Hey, Adrian. How you doing? This is going to have to put just a ton of people out of business. You know? Yeah, no, I agree, Andy. Read the Anarchist Cookbook. Yeah, you know how it is, Kate. Shit, man, so weird. I got one for you guys that you're gonna. So there's this place that I go. I'm not gonna tell you where because I don't want to cause them any problem. And just for the hell of it, about a couple weeks ago, I looked through the sex offender site, and in Michigan, you can search it by name, city, zip code, whatever. So I look it up, and I realize that 3 of these sex offenders are working at this place. Now I got mixed feelings on that. Everybody knows that's a terrible thing. On the other hand, they never get to pay their debt to society. They got to report everywhere they go, and you can't say that some of them wouldn't eventually turn out to be productive citizens. So I got a little bit of a problem of, someone getting basically harassed until the day they die. But I don't say much. I don't have any skin in the game, so I just keep my mouth shut. It really doesn't affect me. But I see these 3 guys on the sex offender website. Well, I happened to go in there today. And I said, hey, there's a lady I talk to from time to time. I said, I'm not trying to start any trouble or anything, but, you got 3 sex offenders working here. And she said, what? I said, yeah. And I automatically assumed that the staff would have been, clued in. It's like, look, these people have a criminal past. If anybody ever says anything, tell them to talk to management, blah, blah, blah. She was absolutely clueless and shocked. And 2 of these guys were like the worst offenders there are, 13 years old and under. And she was absolutely clueless. And then she wanted me to tell her who they are. And I said, well, why don't you just go on there and look it up yourself? Really nice lady. I don't think she's going to try and make a mountain out of a molehill. But I could not believe, yeah, they check. Yeah, that's one that you can't get insurance most places if you got a sex offender on the payroll. And just because somebody's convicted doesn't mean that they aren't eligible for employment. Yeah, I know it, Pam. Yeah. Hey, T, how you doing? Yeah, I couldn't believe it. I mean, I really do have I'm sure if I had a kid that was molested, I'd think about this. It's just like everything else in life in an entirely different way, But, I mean, obviously these people have something wrong with them. And I'm not convinced that, why don't we just put a bullet in their head if they're never going to live it down? You know what I mean? Now, there's arguments either way for whether or not rehabilitation is possible. I don't know if it is or not. I'm assuming it is because I know people that have, it depends on the charges, really. I mean, there are guys out there that are on the sex offender website. It is a heavy topic. You're right, Cam. There are people out there on a sex offender website that, had a girlfriend a month short of whatever legal age is. In Michigan, I think it's 17. I don't know. And she was a month short, and they broke up, and then she told the dad, and the dad called the cops. And before you know it, this guy is a lifelong sex offender, even though he'd been seeing this girl for 2 or 3 years in a consenting relationship. So, it's not one size fits all. You're not going to pigeonhole everybody into having it work out exactly how you like, but I'm not sure what the solution is. I mean, I don't spend a lot of time thinking about things that don't concern me, but I was really kind of surprised that she didn't know. And this is a place where you could keep an eye on them. Oh, okay, Pam. Interesting. Yeah, see, in Michigan, I don't think that can get you on the sex offender website. If you're ever talking with people about this, that's the first thing somebody brings up is somebody getting caught. But that's a different charge in Michigan, I think. But I have read articles before where it suggested that you could get on the sex offender website as a result of that. Now, honestly, if there were kids around or something like that, I think you probably should be on the sex offender website. I mean, you can chalk it off to drinking too much and didn't know people were watching, but that's a little different. If you pull over on the side of the road at 3 o'clock in the morning and nobody's around, I got a problem with that. I don't think that's a sex offender. I just think you're doing stupid shit when you're drunk, and that's one of them. So I think it's individual. It depends on the circumstance. Yeah, it's a really tough one to think. And I've read studies on sexual abuse before, and you couldn't really put something on a person's mind that's any worse. It's just like a death sentence for healthy, emotional, stable behavior. Obviously, some people handle it better than others, but for certain type people, if they were molested when they were young, they're just gonna have all sorts of associated problems because this mentally ill person did this, and that's unfortunate. On the other hand, you could go into your office and shoot two of your secretaries and kill one of the cops trying to save the day and get a job, no problem, 30 years later when they let you out of prison. Now, something doesn't seem quite right with that either. So I'm really not 100% confident on what the correct solution is. I guess you could say, well, if all you needed to do is register and all we're doing is putting the people on notice that this person has done this in the past and you keep an eye on them, maybe that's not that bad. I don't know. Hey, Penny. But on the other hand, if you robbed the bank and you shot two secretaries and a cop that tried to save it, you're not going to be on any list for anybody to be able to randomly search that whenever they feel like to come up and hassle you. And that's, I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm curious what you guys think about it. I mean, I could be assuming that these people are going to be harassed, and maybe they're not. I don't know. What do you guys think of this? Oh, okay, Pam. Yeah, sorry about that. Hey, Penny, how you doing? I don't know, man. I mean, I think I've always said, and this is just talking off the cuff, but I think you could be born. They don't. You really don't. There's a million things that they don't understand about human behavior. You can make generalizations, blah blah blah, but you never know how genes are going to express themselves. You can come from a great family, whatever that is, and turn out to be a great pianist, a heart surgeon. You can also be a pedophile, an axe murderer, a serial killer. You never really know what you're going to get. And nobody's ever really going to be able to predict how you're going to turn out. So it's, I guess it's, I don't know. I just don't know how to consider all of this. I mean, should these sex offenders be working anywhere where kids ever went into the building? I'm just shocked that they didn't already know about it. And they said, yeah, we had a meeting. We were tipped off. And you know what's even worse than this, Kate? I'll give you an example is, this is terrible. But I look at these guys differently now when I go in there, especially when I saw two of them that were kids under 13. That is like as perverted and weird as you can get. One of the guys got nailed with kiddie porn. I mean, this sounds nuts, but I was thinking as I was driving home from there that if you get this sex offender conviction on your record, depending on what the offense is, you basically are guaranteed for a shit job the rest of your life. You're gonna get a job someplace where they have a hard time getting people, and you're really basically not only have you ruin your life in the sense for any plausible career. No, it's just gene expression, Kate. You never know. Believe me, if you ever watch some of these guys after they get caught, when that prick from that used to be on TV, he's a jerk too. I think he's just as mentally deranged, only he passes himself off as being a good guy. That Chris Hansen, what a huge asshole. But you look at some of these people, I mean, you can tell the majority of them just really aren't all there to begin with. I mean, and let's take for an example, there's someone that's mentally challenged, capable of being a sex offender. Well, according to the law, they are. But if they couldn't hold gainful employment before they were charged, do they really have it together enough to consciously do that kind of action? That's the $50,000 question. If you're mentally challenged and you're not employable based on your IQ, can you really be a sex offender? That's where it gets dicey. Oh my God. Yeah, Chris Hansen, what an asshole. He got his though. Like I say, like with these places that start these channels and try and hassle me, what goes around comes around. I'm 100% both feet in with karma. I think your bad behavior and shitty things come to get you down the road. The frustrating part is it's not on a timeline that most people are happy with. But if you do messed up, stupid shit like that, you're going to get yours someday. Chris Hansen did get his. Somebody hired a PI and they caught him fooling around on his wife. And he ended up getting canned from his job. And it's basically been a downhill slide ever since. Yeah, thank you, Kate. That's exactly right. Yeah, thank you. Yep. Yeah, he did. Yeah, he sure did love Joe. You can Google it and find it. I'll tell you another asshole that gets too much good publicity, and that's Dr. Phil. You know, he was a psychologist, but got basically booted out of the profession for sleeping with his patients. He lost his license because of that. Then he went into being a jury consultant. And when Oprah went on one of her shows and talked shit about the Texas beef, she was sued. And that's how she met Dr. Phil. He seems like anybody that would send somebody that was sensitive, that had mental health issues to a kook like that, to put you on a national TV show under the ruse of helping. Yeah, Google it. Google it, Greg. That's why when he was screwing around with Britney Spears when she had her breakdown, he referred to himself as a life counselor as opposed to a psychologist. Yeah. Crazy, man. The world is nuts. He seems like a big asshole. And that fake bullshit relationship he has with his wife. I mean, I could be wrong, but look, I've been around, right? I know lots of people. And after you've been married 30 years, they're on there holding like their first time lovers. Give me a break. I see that sham he was trying to run with his son never really went anywhere. I mean, there have been decent people on TV, but when, you know, society shifted to drama, all the good people got booted out. Dick Cavett used to be an excellent guy to interview people. Tom Snyder. Johnny Carson wasn't bad. And then we got these crazy people like Dr. Phil. And Sally Jesse Raphael was a sweetheart. I don't even know if she's still alive. People that were actually trying to help somebody rather than get them on national TV and make a spectacle. And you're going to laugh when I say this, but I talked to him twice. Not that that makes me an expert, but I know a lot of people that know him. When I lived in Chicago, you'll never meet a nicer guy in your life than Jerry Springer. I'm not kidding you. Anybody that knows him loves him. Does a lot for charity. Unfortunately, his name is linked to that crazy show that he had. You know, I knew when I was living in Chicago, there was a girl that worked for Jenny Jones. And Jenny Jones and Jerry Springer show shared the same studio. And she was a makeup artist. And they had professional people that would go in there and instigate trouble. That's why when they come out of the back room and they're ready to punch their spouse for screwing their girlfriend, you think it's fake. It's not fake. Somebody just spent 35 minutes riling them up. They got professional troublemakers. Yeah, I actually ran into Jenny Jones a couple times too. She would go into a place where I'd eat lunch a lot called Big Bull, and she'd wear like these dark clothing and pull this hat down way over her face, like she was some big, super huge celebrity, so nobody would talk to her. Seemed like a kook. I ran into a lot of people eating lunch here, just sitting at the counter. Kevin Bacon, Alex Rodriguez, Robert Plant, Pink, that lady that got the world's most plastic surgery. Billy Corgan, and that David Schumer. Hey, Marie, how you doing? People like that stuff. Now, and then people say, well, they can't figure out why somebody would enjoy like hassling me. Well, now you know why. Look at these shows. The only reason they keep showing up is because people like starting trouble. I mean, it's the most popular, highest paying show on TV, or was lately. And that's that Judge Judy, who is an absolute lunatic. I don't know if you guys understand that or not, but it's really not court. It's a civil contract that you sign. They take a studio and they make it look like a court room. It's binding arbitration, really. You agree to go through a mock trial. She's not jailing anybody or anything else. Everybody gets paid on those deals. If you lose, they pay your thing, and if you win, they pay your expenses. And it's nobody really loses. They make it seem like you're in a real courtroom, but it's not. That bailiff can't do jack shit. You could punch him in the nose and it'd just be like punching someone in a bar. Judge Judy did, Kate? Yeah, Jerry Springer's a great guy, Danky. Super nice guy. No kidding, huh? That's exactly right, Love Peace Joy. You got it. Yeah, you're right. Paid to go off on people. I mean, if she did 10% of that stuff in a real courtroom, they'd sanction her by the end of her shift. And I think she was a probate or a juvenile judge. Judge Judy wasn't any big famous judge from New York. She was at the lower end of the scale. Crazy old bag. Montel, well, he's got, I think he's got multiple sclerosis or muscular dystrophy, one of the two. He's a naval or Air Force Academy graduate. Oh, family court. Okay, Laura. Yeah, there you go. Hey, honey bun, how you doing? Oh, thank you. Oh, she is so annoying is right, Emily. That's being kind. Yeah, it's because of his health condition, Greg. He seems like a decent guy. It's also why this show probably isn't on any longer. If you could be the most decent, greatest psychologist in the world, and if you went on there and you just waved a magic wand over somebody's head during your show, and they got better and they got off heroin and they saved their marriage and they turned into better parents and worked at animal shelters on their day off, nobody'd watch it. You'd think, wow, this is a good person. Then they'd flick to some crazy, the wheels fall off show like Judge Judy. Hey, Laura. Oh, thank you. Yeah, no, nobody watch it. That's one nice thing about getting older. I mean, there's a lot of things that I don't like about it, but there's a lot of things that I do. Oh, is he a pervert, Laura? I never heard that. I always was, it's not my business, but I always seemed a little suspicious of his marriage, you know? I don't care what they do. I really can't. I don't know why. It just seemed like it was fake, and I don't have really anything to base that on other than when you see him out in public. So it's really stupid comment. I don't have anything to base it on. Hey, Mark. Oh, okay, honey bun. Well, I hope it's helping him. He seems like a good guy. Yeah, a lot of these people had relationships with the people they work with. I kind of understand that. I'm not defending it. But and that, like the bar business, I mean, who doesn't end up screwing their waitresses and stuff if they work with them long enough? It's a late night shift. Most people are single. You get off at 2. You go over to somebody's house. It just lends itself to that kind of lifestyle. Just like David Letterman, Stephen Stills and his babysitter. Oh, thank you, Terry. The list goes on and on. Arnold Schwarzenegger and his maid. You get attracted to people. I mean, I'm not villainizing these people, but it all kind of makes sense. Yeah, right, Kay. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, David Letterman. Yeah. He was some young girl that he paid for law school or something like that. They're consenting adults, but he was married, and that's not cool. You got a major problem in your relationship when you're fooling around. I wish I would have had this kind of sense when I was younger. That's why I've said before, if I'd have been into YouTube as a young guy, it probably wouldn't work very well with me. I don't want to meet these women and be getting hooked up in these traps, and oh, God knows what would have happened where I don't want to have anything to do with any of them. So it keeps me safe. It's the only reason my channel's probably still going. So I'm old and don't give a shit. If I was a young guy trying to meet girls, God knows what they could conjure up. That's true, Laura. I agree with that. But it's selfish people. Oh, Marie, thank you. Buy me a coffee. Thank you. Hey, Allison, how you doing? It's just like, I mean, you guys have been out there. I mean, how many of you guys out there have like known someone and you were friends with them, and then one special night something happened? It changes a relationship. It does. You just wish you would have just kept it platonic, but drinking, having a good time, at a good concert, flew down to Florida for the weekend, blah, blah, blah. It happens, man. I mean, is this something you should go to prison over? No. But if you're looking for long-term success, that isn't exactly the most tried and true formula. Yeah, that's right. That's why it's a mental illness. It's just like the pervert and the arsonist and the serial killer. Gene expression. People, nothing surprises me. Watch these crime shows. The First 48, that's a bad example because there is an argument that the First 48 is racist and that they only pick cases on really uneducated people that are easy to convict. I hate to say this, but I kind of got to agree. Now, you got to say, well, you should be convicted when you're out there murdering your friends over dope deals. I agree with that too. But if you really pay attention to the First 48, how many white guys you see on there? Not that many. So there's an argument for that. You're going to go across the country and you're going to randomly go to these police departments and follow these guys around for 48 hours, and you're not going to come up with more white guys doing the same thing? Oh, thank you, Marie. Oh, thank you, Karen. Appreciate it. So, I mean, I kind of agree with that. I mean, 60 Minutes, man, you wouldn't believe the editing and the way they whittle down a slant that they want to put on a story. And anybody that tells you, I'm really super honest or promotes their integrity, watch out. Turn your radar on full tilt. Yeah, it's in the DSM-5. Sexual addiction is a recognized mental disorder. For sure. And I think, like, you get some people that, like, with drug addiction, there's some people that genetically, heroin just isn't going to do it for them like it would somebody like, let's say, Becky. And the proof is in the pudding. If you go out and you look at some of the people that I interview, they had husbands, they had good jobs, they had children, they left it all for dope. Some people, they'd rather have their children and the husband. Some people would rather have the dope and the street life. It's just the way it is. A lot of the people that tune in, that want to donate money, that contribute to comments on the videos that I upload, want to get everybody in rehab, everybody back in society and doing well. It's no shit. If they don't want that, you're spinning your wheels. Now, I think Cricket, I've been told, is living with an older guy somewhere. Yeah, that's it, Craig. Yep. So, that's how it is. Weird. And there's some people that just aren't really have enough of a complete package to, let's say, as an example, to be, let's say, a committed athlete, a professional student, to get advanced degrees, to be married, that kind of thing. It's a best guess a lot of times. If you talk to these couples that have been married for 40 years, the reason they got married, the criteria is so much different than when they celebrated their 40th anniversary of being married. I mean, you got to change at the same rate, want the same things. It's hard to do. And that's why the divorce rate's so high. Back in the day, women couldn't get gainful employment. Well, now they can say, hey, this is not fun. This sucks. Life's too short. I'm leaving. And the divorce records support this. Yeah, Penny, I hate to say that to you, man, but geez, I didn't know anything about this till I started doing these interviews. And it finally, the light bulb came on, and it's like, you know what? Some of these people don't want to change. And if a heroin addict ever comes, do you think Rebecca or some of the other women are ever going to come up to you and say, hey, look, I think you're a good guy. I like you. But when people want to send me money, I'm going to take it. I need the money for drugs. And if they think they're paying my phone bill, well, I'm going to tell you it's for the phone bill. If they think it's for my rent, I'm going to tell you that. I mean, people say that they're manipulators. Well, when you get under the grips of heroin, you become a manipulator, even if you weren't one when you first got into the game. It's necessary to continue your drug addiction. I'm sure I get played left and right. I'm smarter now than I used to be. And I do have limits on how much I'm going to help them. All as I say is the door's open if you need a ride or you go to your family or whatever, but that's about the end of it. My involvement with any of these people is slight surface level. There's not any meth that I can ever find in Detroit, Penny, to tell you the truth. Crack and heroin. And there's just, it's like anybody that's got just an average IQ, when you think about this, you sit down, nobody sits down to the table and writes notes on becoming a heroin addict. You got a wild hair up your ass and you're partying and there's some guy you're attracted to or some girl you're attracted to. And if you're going to make things happen, getting high with them and trying heroin for the first time is what suckers a lot of these people into that kind of behavior. And then bam, it's got you. I mean, do you think anybody ever sits down and says, you know what? I am going to totally ruin my life. I'm going to throw my femininity out the window. I'm going to get rid of my kids and never visit. I'm going to let my parents raise them. I'm going to throw a career down the drain. I'm just going to ruin my life until the day I overdose on fentanyl. It doesn't work that way. It just kind of happens. It's baby steps. And before you know it, you're a full-blown addict out there selling yourself. and jammed with all sorts of health concerns. HIV, hepatitis, herpes, syphilis, gonorrhea, you name it. Yeah, if you noticed the people that have seemed to have had success with rehab and getting off dope, they got the hell out of Dodge. They got dropped off in the middle of nowhere where they didn't know anybody. I'm telling you, man, I could go down there and kidnap people and take them up to the Amish and have them sign a contract that they wouldn't leave for 3 years. They'd get off all that shit. They might not like it, but it's possible. Yeah, it's something to worry about. You just gotta do your due diligence. I mean, it's a gamble at best. I mean, for sexually active people, if you were like thinking of having sex with somebody, there's definitely nothing wrong with getting them tested. If you look at cervical cancer and stuff like that with women, now they're vaccinating, at least in Michigan, 12 and 13-year-old girls, which is an excellent idea because there's a strong link with papilloma and later cancers amongst women and men for that matter. Oh, thank you, Murray. Yeah, man, the world's crazy. Now, the downside of that is sometimes, it isn't like you're going on a vacation and you think, I'm going to have sex on the 3rd of March of next year. So sometimes it just kind of happens, and I think that's when you let your guard down. It's hard to be an adult now. I think you're right, Sue. I think you're right. And it's nothing that's attracted to me, but looking at it from the outside in a weird, twisted way. Let's say I've known women that have got into marriages and had kids, and after a while didn't really like being married and wish they'd never had kids. So I don't agree with it. You would think that you'd have everything. People have kids all year, all day long without thinking they were ever going to have any. It doesn't work out to be some great plan and everything works out perfect. I mean, that's the theory of evolution and population, is that there's always going to be a lot of offspring, whether you plan it or whether you don't. Been that way. It's better now than it used to be because of birth control. But let's say a woman gets into that and like Becky, doesn't like being married, doesn't like having kids, doesn't want to work. And basically your life is getting high and selling yourself until the day you die. And I think she's accepted that. When did that happen, Jim? When did that happen? And do you have the guy's name? Yeah, see, but yeah, I believe you wouldn't. And it's great that you feel that way, Marie, but there are women out there that don't think the way you do. Yeah, Penny, you're right, man. It really is. How old is your son, Penny? Yeah, I do too, Chantel, but I'm telling you, Becky's not thinking like you or I think. Oh, sorry about that, Karen. Did your daughter make it, Karen? Is she still alive? No, okay, Penny. Where do you live, Penny? No, I have not, Dave. I have not. No, I haven't. Yeah, Karen. Yeah, I was talking to you. Yeah. Yeah, it's a shitty life, man. It really is. I mean, when you give up everything to just sleep with 10 or 20 strangers a day in an abandoned, unheated home with no bathroom or running water, that is a problem. Oh, that's all right, Karen. No problem. Oh, okay, Penny. God, I wish I could do something for you. Yeah, go ahead, Chantel. Oh, all right. Oh, really, Dave? Oh, okay. Be interesting to talk to or read about. What was he hit by a car or something, Jim? Going down the road in his buggy? Yeah, bad, poor guy. You know, the Amish have their problems too. Mental illness, incest. It isn't all picture perfect. They bust them all the time down in Gladwin for shooting deer out of season. So it's not all, what it's cracked up to be. I would say the majority of them are great people, but they have their faults as well. Yeah, Raj, yeah. Good personable guy. Yeah, I think he's a really good guy. Yeah, it's it, Sue. You're right. Oh, Napanee. Yeah, I've been through there a million times. Some of those photos I upload are from Napanee. Oh, and a wood chipper, huh? Oh, wow. She had listened to that interview I did with that Tracy. She said she has thoughts sometimes of throwing people in a wood chipper. No, what's your question, Chantel? I didn't see it. I didn't see your question. What the hell is it on here? Let me look back on here. Help people with alcohol problems. Oh, that's cool. What were you curious about, Chantel? Ask me again. Yeah, I think it'd have to be able to stand it. I don't know if you saw the interview of the guy that I had a month or so ago, Sue. I asked him about that. Hey, Clint, how you doing? Oh, okay. How you feeling, Clint? Bad air where, Chantel? What are you talking about? Yeah, they're just crazy people. Hey, Philip, how you doing? Oh, good, thank you. I caught a comment somebody made today about that food truck, and evidently they don't like the guy that's running it. I didn't. I got to go back and read it later. Did you catch that, Philip, by chance? I don't know what they're talking about. No, I never saw that, so I'll check that out. Is it on YouTube by chance? Yeah, okay, Greg. Yeah. Are human beings. They're definitely going to. Oh, thank you, Karen. Definitely going to have their issues. Yeah, they'll be the first one to tell you that. They're not perfect. I don't think you could. I don't think you could be an Amish guy though and just scam people like you see these shows, American Greed, where you get these non-Amish people that just go out of there and screw people out of $1 billion. I think you're pretty limited how many people you could screw as an Amish guy. I just don't think the community would tolerate that. You know, somebody did bring up what happens to the Amish Down syndrome kids? That's a good question. Can anybody answer that? The Down syndrome Amish kids, has anybody ever seen one? I mean, they gotta be some, but I've never seen one. And the person that said, you know, what happens to them is like, what could you do with a Down syndrome baby if you didn't want it as an Amish person? It's a good question. Oh, gotcha, Julie. Was there any connection between this guy and the
You got mail.
new people, or was it just timing? What did he get in trouble for, Julie? Do you know? No, me either, bud. I don't know what she's asking me either. Chantel, nobody sees your question. What is the question? I haven't seen a question yet. No, we see everything but a question. There's no question. I did talk to Maddie, yeah. I talked to her Sunday. Yeah, I still got it. You know, I got rid of it, but I'd given that out for like 15 years, and people try and get a hold of me and didn't have an alternative, so I went and signed back up for it, even though I don't use it as my primary email. I've kept it. Oh, okay, Julie. Okay. I'll ask the guy about that next time I see him. He can straighten it out in an interview if he wants. Or maybe he doesn't think it's any of my business, but I'll ask. Well, I guess all things considered, she's okay. I mean, when somebody asks me if somebody that I know in Southwest Detroit that's a heroin addicted working girl is okay, it's a hard question to answer. Oh, okay. Just out of curiosity, Julie, do you know what the circumstances were for him impersonating a police officer? Oh, good, Clint. No, I didn't either. Hey, Mark, how you doing? Oh, okay, all right. I don't either, Chantel. Unless it's just some crazy question that YouTube's taking care of. Good, Mark, how you doing? Yeah, but Bud, you don't need to be in a bando to not get on the internet. I mean, they're in the same living situation that they were in before. That doesn't mean you can't get on, make YouTube videos. I don't know why. All right, Chantel. Oh, okay. Oh, that's sad, Julie. She's on the run. Becky is. What were the circumstances with him impersonating a police officer, Julie? Do you know? Oh, okay, Bud. All right. I mean, you know, plea deals, people plead to stuff they didn't do because they can't afford formidable defense sometimes. So I don't hang my hat on people that plead guilty. Honking his horn. Oh, gotcha, Julie. Okay. Well, that's unfortunate if he ended up getting charged with that. Yeah, everybody does, Chantel. Well, it's interesting, Sue, I bet you. Yeah. So, Julie, that's not that serious of a charge. I mean, what does that have to do with continuing to drive a food truck after you get probation or get out of jail or whatever? Oh, okay. Yeah, I know, Anthony. Thank you. So, Julie, is this guy around now? I mean, what's he doing now? Oh, is that right, Karen? Hey, Shelly, how you doing? About the same old thing. Trying to not catch the coronavirus. I hate Netflix. You know, those bastards charged my card for 2 years and I didn't even have it. And when I did have it, in a month you can go through everything that's any good on there and then you're screwed. Oh, yeah, I heard it, Anthony. Yep. Oh, okay, Shelly. Oh, wow, choose Joe. Good luck with that. Make sure you use that. They probably want you to use mouthwash a lot, don't they? For infection afterwards. No, I don't think it's in every state. I don't think the coronavirus is in every state. I don't think it is. Let me look. I think this would be easy to look up, wouldn't you? I'm pretty sure they don't have it in every state, do they? Maybe they do. Maybe you're right. Is this showing? Yeah, it is in every state. You're right. Yep. Wow. God. This was 2 days ago. I see New York has 1,700 cases. Washington, 1,076. California, 698. New Jersey, 267. Massachusetts, 218. Florida, 216. Louisiana, 196. Illinois, 161. Colorado, 160. Georgia, 146. Pennsylvania, 112. Texas, 110. Tennessee, 74. Wisconsin, 72. Connecticut, 68. Ohio, 67. Virginia, 67. Oregon, 66. Michigan, 65. North Carolina, 64. Maryland, 60. Minnesota, 60. Nevada, 56. Utah, 51. South Carolina, 47. Alabama, 39. Maine, 32. Indiana, 30. Kentucky, 26. New Hampshire, 26. Iowa, 23. New Mexico, 23. Rhode Island, 23. Arkansas, 22. District of Columbia, 22. Mississippi, 21. Arizona, 20. Oklahoma, 19. Kansas, 18. Delaware, 16. Vermont, 12. Missouri, 11. South Dakota, 11. Wyoming, 11. Hawaii, 10. Montana, 9. Idaho, 8. Puerto Rico, 5. Alaska, 3. Guam, 3. North Dakota, 3. Virgin Islands and West Virginia, 1. Wow. Yeah, Indiana. At least 2 days ago, Indiana. Yeah. Indiana had 30 cases, 2 deaths. Wow. You're right, Gene. It is good she did that. Yeah. Very considerate. That's why I made a comment in the video Sunday night coming home in that little pizza store, Clio, Michigan. Nobody, I was sitting in the parking lot eating my pizza in my van, which wasn't running. Saw this young girl come out and wipe the door handle. Nobody watch it. And I thought, that's great. Somebody actually doing their job. Good, Jane. How you doing? As far as I can tell, it's mostly linked to places where you would expect upper income areas, a lot of plane travel, people riding around in airplanes and coming back home. No shit, Gene. Wow. Oh, gotcha. That nonprofit status isn't exactly easy to get. It is kind of creepy, kid. I agree. Yeah. Yeah, that's it, Karen. Wow, even way over in Germany. You know, it's interesting, talking to people on YouTube here. We get people in other countries, and their towns are bare and not much traffic as well. Man, can you imagine having this damn stuff 100 years ago when you couldn't let people know it was coming and people couldn't communicate? Oh, interesting, Julie, huh? Are you in Detroit then, Julie? Oh, interesting. How long ago was that, Julie? Oh, Smoky Mountains. Huh. You got that constant smog out there, Kinder. You got to give them. Smoky sounds better than the air pollution mountains. Oh, okay. Yeah, when I went Walmart, I mean, you could see where there were certain things that were missing. You know, shelves were bare, but there was more stuff than I thought. I got my boiled peanuts, and that's all that mattered. Wow, Karen. Jeez. That is crazy. Well, I'll tell you that the birds don't seem to mind the coronavirus. Birds been really cleaning out the bird feeder with food. No kidding, Troy. That's interesting, huh? Wow. That's a beautiful area, RY. Love Leamington. I'd like to live there. Wow. If you guys live in Michigan, I got extra toilet paper. You know, I'll tell you, I hate buying toilet paper. Just that big old damn thing of it. I just keep putting it off. And about 3 weeks ago, I went and bought the giant pack. You know, the big giant one that's one separate trip, just getting that and bringing it in the house. So I got extra toilet paper if anybody needs any. Just lucky. Yeah, Karen, it'll be a while. I just got back from a week in Detroit. A little under 1,800, so. What state are you in, Jackie? Yeah, it's beautiful there, RY. That's like lots of the United States used to be 100 years ago. I love that place. I love Windsor. I love all of Canada. Now, why wouldn't you be getting food stamps, Jackie? Why is that? Oh, yeah. Thank you, Samantha. You too. You as well. Yeah, it's an oxygen depletion, James. If you scroll down, you'll see where a local TV station did it last year in the same place. And it explains it's oxygen depletion. Evidently, it happens every year. I never saw it before, which is possible, you know. Hey, Shell, how are you? No kidding, Detroit Natural. Thanks for letting us know. Thank you. Oh, okay. But I mean, if your husband's working, you don't have a problem with food or anything, do you, Jackie? Yeah, it's pretty interesting, James. And I've never, you'd have thought I'd have figured that out along the way. Well, I'm a slow learner sometimes. I just found out last week that Jets uses Grande cheese. If I'd have known that, I'd have been getting Jets pizzas for the last 40 years. Oh, thank you, Karen. I hope not. You're probably right, though, Greg. I think somebody out there knows what this is, the potential is. Hey, Virgil, how are you? Oh, that sounds good to me, Karen. I'll come over there to German. We'll go look for German handmade marbles, Lauschwa. Yeah, I'm not really doing anything, Karen, to be honest with you. I mean, honest to God, I tell you guys, I know when I do something that matters, but I haven't really done anything. It's just like this YouTube channel, somebody trying to start a channel. You guys ever want to start your own YouTube channel, let me know. Oh, I got you, Jackie. Oh, I got you. You guys ever want to start a YouTube channel, you can post the links to your channel on all my videos. Oh, Troy, you gotta be kidding me, man. Where are you at down there, Troy? Yeah, I don't know if I do though, Indy. I mean, who doesn't know about homeless and drug addicted working girls? Yeah, geez, I could use any help. I'm not planning on heaven. Yeah, but I don't want to take credit for something that I'm just enjoying doing. And really, if you think about it, I'm really not doing anything. Short interview, $10, deliver a few gifts, big deal. Yeah, sure, Karen. Yep. Yeah, and Ebony's great. Greg, that place in Napanee, that Amish village or whatever it is, that's not really owned by Amish, is it? Oh, okay, good. How far north? You ever go to that Hielitas or Hielitas or whatever it is, that Mexican place? I'm not sure on that, Sue. Maybe a couple years ago. I don't really know, Sue, because I only knew about it like 2 years ago or something. Oh, okay, Greg. Are they still trying to pass it off as an Amish outfit? Oh, okay, Greg. What's that little town near there? It starts with an M. Oh, okay. Middlebury, yeah, that's it. Yep. Yeah, it's quiet. It was a couple days ago anyway. Yeah, but if I was down around Delray, there's nobody there anyway. So, and really, in fairness to Detroit, uh, all the events were canceled. The monster truck, convention, hockey game, basketball game. So it would have been pretty dead anyway. So I didn't want to, that's why I came on, did a live later, because I didn't want to make it look like, you know, the place was out of business. It was dead, just like a typical Sunday would be. No activities. Oh, okay, Greg. Hey, Ethan, how you doing? Oh, Shipshewana, yeah, no kidding. Is that auction still going big time? Yeah, I've eaten there a couple of times, Detroit Natural. Oh my God, how gross, Sue. You should have let her have it with a banana. Oh, Mennonites, okay. Yeah, it is our way. Yep. Yeah, Goshen, that's where they make those trailers, I think. RVs. Yeah, that's it, Detroit Natural. Yeah, you're right. Yep. That's cool. I mean, a thing of these canned peanuts. I don't remember them being this salty. Yeah, I'm in West Branch. Yeah. For all the Christians out there, Revelation should be ringing a bell. Thank you, Sue. I make a lot of mistakes, though, Sue. Sometimes they're not talking to me, or I'm talking to the wrong person. So, thank you, though. Yeah, it probably would be, Leslie. Huh? I think I'm going to go on eBay tonight and order a spacesuit. That's right, RI guy. Yeah. That's, oh, Knoxville. All right. Well, that's good, Sue. You're smarter than most. Oh, interesting, Mark. No kidding, huh? Same with Moody Bible Institute. You know, I lived down there in Chicago and used to walk by those kids all the time, sitting out on the lawn the first warm spring days. They were always so polite and nice. Didn't have nose rings and lip rings and purple hair. No criminal records, just kind of kids you'd dream to have. Yeah, I don't think so, Josh. Yeah, I don't need the money, Josh, but thank you. No, no, I'm one of the ignorant ones. If I didn't have Daisy, I'd be down at Key West right now eating seafood and drinking margaritas with premium tequila. Hell no, I'm a gambler. Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. That's for sure. No, I don't. No. That's it, Zach. Oh, no kidding, Andy. Oh. Yeah, I know our wife. Yeah, I'm with you on that. Raven's a sweet girl. Yeah, I hope so. I talked to her just for a second after that twice, but not enough to have a conversation. You know, I don't want to scare her off. Just drop the damn foil peanut. No, it does, Zach. You need to get those, worry about those sheets, Zach. You need to get those sheets. Oh, here it is. Found it. I stepped on it, of course. Oh, wow, Andy. Wonder if they have any of that coronavirus in Key West. I wouldn't definitely not want to be down there if somebody has it. You run into every single resident there is if you stay down there 3 days. It's supposed to rain today, but we didn't get it yet. Hey, Doreen, how you doing? Yeah, I do too, Love Peace Joe. I do. Yeah, I'll be putting that suit on pretty soon, James. But right now, people aren't exactly in the joking mode. Yeah, you're right. I hope there's something they're not telling us, Zach. Somebody said it was in every state, and I went and looked it up. Sure enough, they were right. Hey, Nicole, how you doing? How's it going? Oh, does it, Gene? That's all that international flying, maybe. Huh. Yeah, I hope so too. All right, yeah. Where at, Zach? Where? Oh, wow. Oh, Leslie, yeah, well, it's exceptional circumstances, you know? Oh, okay. I'm not gonna hit the panic button until some high school star athletes die from it for no apparent cause. Then I'm gonna go in the basement. You're never gonna see me. Yeah, Raven's a sweet girl. Yeah, this one's mutated, Julie. Yeah. I don't believe that, Jackie. Oh, wow. Excuse me. Don't worry, though. You're 1,000 miles away. Excuse me. God, I hope I don't have it. Thank you, Indy. Yeah, I know. Trying to execute me. You better believe I do. Thank you, Jackie. Thank you, love, peace, joy. Well, I think I'm going to sign off for you guys. I'll be back on later tonight if you're going to be around. I'm going to take Daisy for a walk. Yeah, no, it's starting here a little, so not a lot. All right, you too. All right, guy. All right, love, peace, joy. Thank you, Mark. I'll be on later tonight, so you guys have a good day. Hang in there. Wash your hands. All right, you too, Phil. All right, Michigan Mike. Yep. See you, Leslie. Bye, love, peace, joy.